Hello and welcome to this video on the Black Death and its impact on Europe. The Black Death was one of the deadliest pandemics in human history, which had a profound impact on Europe. In this video, we will discuss the causes, symptoms, and spread of the Black Death, and its impact on Europe. The Black Death was a devastating pandemic that ravaged Europe during the mid-14th century. It is estimated that the pandemic killed between 75 and 200 million people across Europe, Asia, and Africa. The Black Death is believed to have originated in China, and it spread to Europe via trade routes. Black Death, also known as the bubonic plague, was caused by the bacterium Yersinia pestis. The disease was spread by fleas that lived on rats, which were common in densely populated areas such as cities and towns. The symptoms of the Black Death were severe and often appeared suddenly. They included fever, chills, and headache, followed by the development of painful swelling of the lymph nodes, known as buboes. The buboes could appear anywhere on the body, but were most commonly found in the groin, armpit, or neck. The disease could also cause septicemia, or blood poisoning, leading to blackening and necrosis of the skin and other tissues, hence the name, Black Death. Pneumonic plague, a more severe form of the disease, could also develop, causing symptoms such as coughing, chest pain, and shortness of breath. The Black Death was highly contagious and deadly, with mortality rates ranging from 30% to 90%. The speed and severity of the disease contributed to the panic and fear that gripped Europe during the epidemic. The lack of effective treatments or understanding of the disease made it difficult to contain, and many people believed that it was a punishment from God or caused by supernatural forces. The impact of the Black Death was felt for centuries to come, and it remains one of the most devastating pandemics in human history. The spread of the Black Death. The Black Death originated in Asia, possibly in the area around modern-day China and Mongolia. It is believed to have spread to Europe through trade routes, such as the Silk Road and other overland routes, as well as by sea via trade ships. It was brought to Europe by traders and travelers who had been exposed to the disease, including soldiers fighting in the Mongol armies of Central Asia. The disease first arrived in Europe in 1347, when a fleet of Genoese trading ships carrying goods from the Black Sea arrived at the port of Messina in Sicily. Many of the sailors on board the ships were already sick or dying from the disease. The disease quickly spread to the port and surrounding areas, and from there, it began to spread throughout Europe. The Black Death spread rapidly across Europe, reaching its peak in 1348–49. The disease spread quickly through densely populated cities and towns, where the conditions were ideal for the spread of the disease. The disease could also be spread from person to person through contact with bodily fluids or contaminated objects. Many people believed that it was a punishment from God or caused by supernatural forces. Some even believed that the disease was spread by Jews and began to persecute and kill Jewish communities across Europe. Despite efforts to contain the disease, such as quarantine measures and burning infected clothes and buildings, the disease continued to spread. The Black Death continued to reappear in Europe in smaller outbreaks for several centuries, and it remains a reminder of the devastating impact that infectious diseases can have on human society. The Black Death had a profound impact on Europe, both in the short term and long term. Here are some of the key ways in which the disease changed the course of European history. Demographic impact. The Black Death killed an estimated 25–30 million people in Europe, or approximately one-third of the population. The sudden and widespread loss of life had a profound impact on European society, including the economy, politics, and culture. Economic impact. The sudden loss of so many people had a significant impact on the economy, which relied heavily on agriculture and manual labor. With so many workers dead, labor became scarce and wages increased. Landowners struggled to find enough workers to tend their fields, and many were forced to abandon their land. This led to a period of economic turmoil and social upheaval, with peasants and workers demanding better wages and working conditions. Political impact. The Black Death also had a significant impact on political structures in Europe. The sudden loss of so many people led to a breakdown of traditional power structures, as the ruling classes struggled to maintain control over their territories. In some cases, this led to increased power for the lower classes, as they were able to demand better treatment and rights. Cultural impact. The Black Death also had a profound impact on European culture, including art, literature, and religion. Many artists and writers depicted the disease in their works, often using it as a symbol of death and decay. Religious practices were also affected, as people struggled to make sense of the disease and its devastating impact. Some turned to religious extremism, while others began to question the authority of the Church. Medical impact. While the medical knowledge of the time was not advanced enough to understand the causes of the disease, the Black Death did have a long-term impact on medical practices in Europe. It led to the development of quarantine measures and other public health measures, as well as the study of infectious diseases and the search for effective treatments. In conclusion, the Black Death was one of the deadliest pandemics in human history, which had a profound impact on Europe. The disease caused widespread panic and fear, leading to social and economic upheaval. However, the pandemic also led to the decline of the feudal system and the rise of a new middle class. Despite the devastation caused by the Black Death, Europe was able to recover and rebuild, paving the way for the Renaissance and the modern era. Thank you for watching this video about history. If you enjoyed this content and want to stay up to date with our latest videos, please consider subscribing to our channel. By subscribing, you'll be the first to know when we release new content, and you'll be supporting our efforts to educate and inspire people about the past. Remember, history is not just a subject to be studied, but a story to be told. Join us as we explore the fascinating and often surprising events that have shaped our world. Thank you again for watching, and we hope to see you soon in our next video. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and click the notification bell to stay up to date.